Hello everybody and welcome to the 5th episode of Otaku Gathering. I'm the Deadly Tikka from Curry House Productions, and with me today I have the usual host, Temeth. Say hello.
What's up, guys?
Right, we usually start off with the topic of what we've been watching, but we're going to skip that and we're going to go straight to Naruto talk. So, the Naruto manga ends in about, 4 weeks now because we just had the 5th week. So, go, talk, because I don't read the manga.
Well, the manga, I'm worried. Once again, the worry is there. Due to a fight's just broken out again. And if we've got 4 episodes or 4 chapters to clean up the fight, which should be like an amazing fight, and then we've got to have the backstory,
Yeah.
or the story of what happens afterwards. Like, does Naruto become Hokage? Does Sasuke become Hokage? What happens there? Or does Kiba? Because, Kiba.
Or 10-10, because 10-10.
Yeah, this is the thing. But no one knows. We haven't actually seen anyone from, like, the army that we've had. Other than... Let me think. We've had Kakashi shown, Sakura shown, Sasuke and Naruto. Those are the only 4.
That's what a lot of people are saying about the manga, is how, compared to the anime, the war feels a lot more hollow, if that makes sense. Like, you don't see any of the other soldiers, you don't see anyone apart from the very important people in the manga, whereas in the anime, there's just loads of people there.
Well, when we were at the same point in the manga as you are now in the anime,
Mhm.
we saw everybody around. We saw Choji, we saw Shikamaru, we saw Hinata. But obviously, we didn't have the flashback crap of Hinata telling Sakura what's going on because Sakura's useless and actually can't show up.
But, right, so I am torn between whether I'm happy about it ending or not. I think 5 weeks is too early. From what I hear, the amount that is left for them to tell, there's no way they can do it in 5 weeks and do it well. My honest opinion is Naruto will... Because do they just call it Naruto, the manga? It's just called Naruto the whole way through. They never
Yeah.
changed it to Shippuden. I have a feeling they might actually end it 5 weeks. Their fight will end between Naruto and Sasuke, and they'll carry it on. Makes
I
sense.
actually have an idea of what's going to happen,
Mm-hmm.
in which we're going to get... what's the name of the little kid? The third
Konohamaru.
grand... Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to actually have a storyline in which it's called Konohara Maru or something like that.
By the way, England just scored because I'm watching the England-San Marino game. Just thought I'd bring it up.
Right. Well, actually, I don't really care. I support Germany. So, anyway, back onto the story. We are going to see a fight break out between the two. It's going to be really cool. From what we saw at this week, the centerfold picture was amazing.
Really. That plays into one of the reasons I'm actually looking forward to it ending. Is I can now go and buy all of the Naruto manga knowing that I'm not going to have to buy loads more.
Just read it.
Yeah, well, I don't like
Read
just
the end.
reading it.
Read the end.
But the thing is as well, I want to buy the 3-in-1s. So they're like 3 volumes
Yeah.
in one. It's just cheaper and it works out better space wise on my shelf. But they've only done up to they've done 12 volumes of it, so it's like 40 some. I can't remember how many it is. It's like 30 odd in the actual volumes. But I'm looking forward to actually
It's
buying
really
all of it.
small. Because, I mean, we're on chapter
70 something. Or...
693.
Oh, you're talking about chapters. No,
Yeah.
this is volumes I'm talking about.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
where the volumes are actually in the thing.
It's a lot. It's nearly 100.
No, like, that would mean that they're only about 300 then,
300 what?
chapters in.
Oh, I have no idea.
Because each volume is about 3 chapters.
I honestly I couldn't tell you.
So if we're at that stage, if you're at about 100 volumes, you're only about halfway through.
It's not quite up to 100 volumes. It's like 70 odd volumes or something like that. I'm not sure.
So Shippuden's probably still ahead of it.
Oh no no
The
no!
volume
The
stage.
the manga is like pretty much completely up to date. It's like 4 chapters behind, but I'm talking about the 3-in-1s. They don't release the 3-in-1s that regularly.
Yeah, alright.
Yeah,
I was going to say.
yeah. I
Because
don't know because I've only ever read the first 3 volumes of Naruto. I've never read past
it's
that.
so good.
I read it in the library. I had to sit in there for like an hour or two, so I just sat there and read Naruto.
It's nice. It's a really nice thing to read, and every week I enjoy sitting there
Hmm.
reading through the story. And I had a pleasant surprise from Manga Panda this week.
It was released a day early, wasn't it?
Yeah, I woke up yesterday, was like, time to go to work, and looked down at my phone to find because I just got on Facebook just to check through what was going on.
Hmm.
And it's like Naruto released, and I was like, oh my god, I've got to read it because after last week's chapter's ending,
Hmm.
which got me to like Sasuke at one stage during that chapter, and then it just whipped it away from me.
Took it all away straight away.
Yeah, like I was like, oh yeah, Sasuke, and then he was like, no.
Fuck you, Sasuke. God damn it. No, as I said, I don't really read the manga at all to One Piece, Naruto. But once it finishes, I'll buy all of it straight away, and then I'll read up to where I am in the anime, and not read past it because I wouldn't want to spoil myself. I love the
Yeah.
series too much, and that's another thing with the manga ending as soon as it is. It gives the anime the opportunity to do what it wants. It could take as long as it wants. It could speed up and start rushing through stuff and getting it done. It could take either route, and
Nice.
I really like that. It's not.
I don't want filler no jutsu.
We won't get any more filler. Honestly, there will be no more filler.
Well, like pretty much the anime's a year behind,
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's so much that it can
and they
work
had
with.
filler. It was like, oh, we're 8 months behind. Let's put filler in.
Well, that's why they did that though. To make sure we had enough. I reckon he had this quite well planned out. Although 5 weeks to finish the story, like hasn't the Naruto Sasuke fight just started?
Yeah,
And they have 5 weeks to do that. Apparently, the first Naruto Sasuke fight in the original fight at Ends Valley or whatever. Apparently, that was 13 chapters long or something. It was.
I wouldn't
really
know.
long.
I didn't actually read that part.
Ah.
I started when Shippuden kind of emerged.
Mhm.
I started reading. That's how I know about the Hidan Shikamaru fight.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. When I first started watching Naruto, like I watched it when I was younger, but never got into it because I was like a Dragon Ball Z fan. Couldn't watch Naruto. That was like faggy ninja shit. But I started watching and we were like already like 200 episodes into Shippuden, so I like power watched 500 episodes in a couple of weeks. I just did it as quick as I could.
I kind of missed the tune-in exams, if I'm honest.
Once it finishes, because I'm planning on buying the DVD series,
Yeah,
I will probably just sit down and just power watch through it.
'cause, I mean, I loved going through Naruto, the original, even with the freaking voice acting that happened in
Yeah.
the dub.
Yeah. Well, I watched it dubbed to start with, and I loved it. So
Yeah.
it wasn't
Well, you
until
start off dubbed, and you're like, "Oh my god, this is amazing," and then you get into the sub, and you're like,
this
"Wow,
is so much better.
yeah."
But
I have to admit that I loved the first part of Shippuden as well. I thought the whole Naruto going to save Sasuke, Sakura actually looking partially competent.
by whipping Sasori's ass, but that was mainly Granny Chiho.
Yeah, because Granny Chiho kind of took hold of her with puppetry.
Yeah, she literally did nothing. She was just there.
It's like, oh, you could use my body.
Yes. I'm unnaturally strong, and it kind of just gets explained by I was taught by Tsunade. Which is funny, because really, Naruto picked up only one thing off of Jiraiya. Oh, well, I guess you can count Sage Mode, but he didn't actually learn it off Jiraiya. It's
Yeah.
like, so... what did when you think about it as well? Actually, what did Sasuke learn from Orochimaru? He just basically got stronger because he got trained by him.
And he learned kind of not to get butt raped by
That is a point though. Like, I think
Orochimaru.
out of the bunch.
Oh wait, no, there's summoning jutsus.
Oh yeah, yeah. So they all learned a bit of something. Yeah, good point. But
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think Sakura benefited the most from her training because she went from completely useless to actually probably one of the strongest female ninjas in the story. Which isn't saying a lot because most of the female ninja fucking suck. I mean, you got like
Yeah.
Tsunade, Conan. That's pretty much it. The rest of them are just there to be shag magnets.
It's pretty bad. Like, I'm not gonna lie. When you sit there and I get disappointed with all of the female characters.
There's
I'm not gonna lie.
the
I
only
mean, the Mizukage
yeah,
could have been so cool.
but she's not. She's just fan service. That's literally all she is.
You don't even get fan service from Mizukage.
Yeah, but she has ridiculously huge boobs.
Yeah, but like, she goes, "I have lava jutsu I can use," and then you're like, "Oh, cool, we get to see lava jutsu." She just doesn't use it.
When I see that, I was like, she can do lava jutsu? That's fucking cool. And then she just is shit. And she uses water jutsu mostly, and it's like, you can use lava,
Steam.
but you use water and steam, yeah. It's like, fuck you. But, are you... Because I know a lot of people are saying... I was pretty much saying the same thing as what I'm saying. They're looking forward to the fact that the story is going to come to an end. It's not going to go on for another 10 years. But then there are people that are saying Naruto is going to end. How long has Naruto been running for? It's like... It's one of the big three. It's been going for like 10 years. It's not quite that long. The manga's been going long though. Yeah, sorry, I'm talking about the
15.
anime.
Yeah, it's been 15 years of manga.
That's what I'm saying. It's one of the big three. It's been going for years, and it's going to end. We're coming to the end of it. That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, I know Bleach is supposed to be coming to an end. In fact, it already came to an end once. Which is what I think is going to happen with Naruto. It's going to come to an end. They'll probably do the flash of white, like I said, and then a year or two down the road, they'll release more manga.
Well, like, if we look at Naruto versus Bleach, yeah, Bleach had that anime shut down for a while, but the manga kept on writing.
Yeah.
So we didn't actually get a block. Well, this is actually a block on the manga.
Yeah, it's kind of
Naruto.
different. Yeah, you're right.
So we are probably going to be seeing the finale, whether or not we see some BS in which we see the fight, flash, and we finally find out what happens in the film.
Yeah, because they're releasing the Naruto The Last, it's called, which...
Yeah.
They shouldn't do that because some people are just manga fans. There are people that don't want to watch anime. They don't like anime. And they just want to read manga. It's like to people who... If you've ever watched something and then you're like, this ending sucks, it makes no sense. And then people are like, oh, go read the manga. That shouldn't be a thing. You shouldn't have to go to the other one to make the story make sense.
Soul Eater.
No, Soul Eater had a decent ending to me. A typical example of it is Berserk. If you ever watch Berserk, and watch Berserk, it's a good anime series. It's not the best, but it's alright. If you watch Berserk, when it ends on just a boom, God, stop, go read the manga, it'll make more sense. And it's like, maybe I don't want to read the manga. The manga is so ridiculously long. It's been going since like the 80s, so it's really flipping long.
Yeah.
And the thing with the manga as well, they release like a chapter every 3 months, or longer sometimes. So you might not ever get an ending to Berserk. The creator of Berserk even said he forgot what Berserk has gone on a journey for at one point.
Yeah.
How can that happen?
It's crazy. Like you look at it on a scale. To go back onto
Naruto.
Soul Eater for a start.
Okay.
You look at the Soul Eater ending and the manga versus the anime; they're completely different. Yeah, they're different endings, and that shouldn't be a thing. You shouldn't have to sit there and go, "Oh, I found the ending for the anime. It was really good. I've now got to go read the manga
Yeah.
to find out the actual ending as of the author."
Well, that's the thing as well. Like, so there are a couple of shows that I've watched that have done it. Soul Eater. I didn't really care that much for Soul Eater, even though I'm reading it now because I kind of enjoyed the ending, and I just want more. That's the only reason I'm moving on to the manga. But there are examples where the ending sucked. Blue Exorcist. The Blue Exorcist manga, I actually discovered, is it still running, or have we not had all of them published in English?
I think it hasn't been published in the UK.
Yeah, because the last 2 volumes haven't been published in the UK. They haven't been published in English at all. There's no translation for it. But it's
I think there is on the internet.
Yeah, there probably is on the internet, but they're like fan made by people. But I was gonna buy all of Blue Exorcist, and then I found out I couldn't buy the last 2 volumes, and I was like, okay, well I'll wait for them to come out. And people have told me that they're planning on like releasing them in like 2 years. It's like, that's way too long. Just release it already. And I bet they've already finished it. I bet they have it ready and they're just waiting because they know people are going to buy it.
Yeah. Give me a second. I'm having issues with the internet.
Oh, well, you're just having crappy internet.
Yeah. If we do a quick pause, could you phone me back?
Yep, no problem. We're back. So, where did we leave off? Yeah, we were talking about how manga, where anime series are more or less a teaser for you to go read the manga, or in some examples, the anime reached up to where the manga was, and then it kind of had to just do something to finish. An example where they actually did it kind of right is Full Metal Alchemist.
Full Metal Alchemist was damn good.
So the original,
Not gonna lie.
yeah, the original Full Metal Alchemist series finished before the manga finished. And then later on they released Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which
was pretty much like a like for like.
Follows the manga pretty much like for like, yeah. Which is an option some of these other things have, apart from long-running series. Long-running series can't really do it because it would cost them too much to just remake a show. Like, if they were to remake... they're doing it with Dragon Ball Z right now. So Dragon Ball Z had a lot of filler in it. Not as much compared to like Naruto, One Piece. Well, One Piece doesn't have filler, it's just slow. But like Naruto had 2 whole years of filler when you think about it. If they were to remake Naruto and like just cut out all of the filler, if that makes sense, like literally just clip out all the filler. That's basically what they're doing to Dragon Ball Z right now, and it's called Dragon Ball Z Kai. What a lot of people are saying is old series like Rurouni Kenshin, which I have just up there. Yeah. I only have the first 2 seasons. I don't have the 3rd season. And the reason for that is because it's completely filler. No point in me buying it because it has no meaning.
It's so annoying when that happens. I'm not going to lie.
England just scored their 2nd.
Cool. But we had it... Some of Naruto's filler was really, really good in their year filler. And then we had some episodes and it was just like, this is BS.
Yeah, you just sit there like, why is it even here?
I point you to one episode in which I think it was the whole arc. They called it.
The whole.
It was the one in which, yeah, there was this massive doomsday weapon that could be used.
I can't think off the top of my head.
Massive flat plane. What happened was Naruto had been sent to try and find this doomsday weapon, and they went to one village that was in this massive like hole in the ground.
Yeah.
And they went there and they found Orochimaru's bum boy. I've forgotten his name now.
Kabuto.
Yeah, Kabuto. He was all messed up.
Yes, I do remember this.
Harvesting snake.
Yes, I do remember now.
And it was a terrible, terrible arc.
Yeah.
Like, there's no need for it.
The thing is, right, I can be a bit of a filler fanboy. I actually enjoy some filler. I remember they released... well, I like the Kakashi Ambu arc. Some of it sucked, some of it was good. Anything that involved Yamato in it pretty much sucked. So... No, literally, it did. Like, all of that stuff with the tree people, I was like, why is this happening? This has hardly anything
Oh,
to do with
that bit. Yeah.
when the girl dies and she just turns into a tree, it's like that really
That was
just
BS.
yeah. But then there are filler episodes that I really enjoyed, like I can't remember what it was. Basically, when Obito made the non-infinite Tsukiyomi. Makes sense? So it was called Path to Ninja or something like that it was called. And basically what happened was everyone's attitude and the way they acted had completely reversed. So like Hinata, instead of being like really reserved and shy, she was just coming onto Naruto saying how she wanted him and everything. And then there's like Sakura, who whenever somebody said something to her, she just blushed and went quiet and like wouldn't punch him and stuff.
So pretty much what Hinata was, and Hinata was what Sakura was.
Pretty much, like them two had reversed. Sasuke had become like, I'm gonna say it's so stupid. Sasuke had become like a really cool kid, and people still fancied him. But what happened was he was actually just a complete loser. Like, they would come up and be like, "Oh, we love you, Sasuke," and instead of giving him the cold shoulder like he used to, he'd be like, "Oh, here's a rose," and all this stuff, and like really ponce on it. And Naruto's like, "Fuck this guy. He acts like a dickhead, and the girls still like him, and no one likes Naruto still." It was so perfect. It was like,
No.
everyone's changed, but now they hate Naruto just as much. And there's a really funny scene where Rock Lee falls through the roof, and everyone's like, "What are you doing here?" And they look, and like part of his clothes have ripped, and he's wearing 1010's underwear.
I remember that.
And they're like, "You pervert!" And he's like, "I promise I didn't do it." And then Naruto like tries to defend him, and then they find out he has a bag full of all of their underwear, and he's just a complete pervert. And I was, like an episode of filler like that is perfect. It's fun.
I liked the filler when we had it with Jiraiya as well.
Mm-hmm. That's what a lot of people said. So people say, "Oh, you never learn anything about when Naruto was being trained by Jiraiya." And it's like, you do, but it's just part of the filler. So it didn't really happen, but it did really happen.
It was filler that was not on the arc, like was not clean filler.
Yeah.
But was filler that was needed to explain what the hell had actually happened.
Yeah. The thing with filler is it can work, like, to stall a show, especially a show as long as Naruto. Like, you have the choice between doing what Naruto does and doing what One Piece does.
Or what Bleach does.
I don't care about Bleach. I'm only 72 episodes in. So.
Well, this is the thing that I will point out. We look at those three. Those are the big three anime / manga. You look at it, at the moment, running anime / manga.
Yeah.
Because DBZ was one of the big ones, but now no longer runs.
Yeah.
In my opinion. So you look at One Piece. One Piece goes for very, very slow style, no filler, just always keeping true.
Yep. But slow as shit.
Yeah. Then you have Naruto, who goes at a reasonable pace, sometimes really slow, has filler in there, even has massive chunks of filler. And sometimes it's not needed, the filler.
But enough to keep itself at least around a year away from the manga. That's the thing.
Yeah. So you're always there, in a way.
And
then you have Bleach.
What does Bleach do? Because I'm on filler right now with Bleach.
Yeah. Bleach is a really bad example of an anime in which it has a lot of filler in it, even if it's quite far behind. So it has the massive amount of filler. Then it realizes that it's actually caught up to the manga, or is a reasonable catch up to the manga, and then goes, what do we do? Everyone's complaining because they're fed up of having filler, and it's really crappy filler. What do we do? Oh, I know. Let's take a whole year and a bit break, so you don't actually get any kind of anime for a year and a bit, and then we're not actually going to like go. By the way, season 2's coming out soon.
It will be back. They just said it's ended, gone, and then they brought it back.
Yeah,
But
and you're just out there like, what?
I,
Bleach is back?
in terms of shorter running series, I prefer that. For a show just to say, okay, we're too close to the manga, let's stop for now, we'll start later. Attack on Titan, for example. Attack on Titan could have carried on going, but it would have been so close to the manga that they would have just been too close. It would have had to slow down its incredibly fast pace and been forced to add filler, add things that people didn't care about. And at the time, Attack on Titan was the biggest thing. When Attack on Titan anime aired, nothing else was on the same level as it. Nothing else was being watched as much.
Well, the thing was also with Attack on Titan, I think it's of a different level to One Piece and the Big Three.
Yeah.
You expect with the Big Three from Shonen Jump that they will have filler. Even Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
It's part of that playstyle because it's quite a large storyline.
Oh yes, I mean, as you said, 15 years the manga's been going on for Naruto. That's a long ass series.
Yeah. Well, you look at Shinji no Kyuji, as I like to call it, and it's just not. It feels like a short series. Mm-hmm. It feels like it has to have that break. It has to have something to just. It's like a TV show more than what I class an anime. You watch something like Game of Thrones. You get a small series, so you get maybe 12 episodes per series, and then it goes, well,
here's a year, we're going to be back or whatever.
We're going to film everything else, and then we'll come back to you.
Yeah. That's a point. Attack on Titan, actually. Not Attack on Titan. Game of Thrones. Do you know what it reminds me of? A mixture of One Piece and short-running series. Because I was watching Game of Thrones. That shit is so slow.
The first... Right. Let me explain something to you here. You're on the first series, aren't you?
No, I've watched more. You know the White Walkers?
Yeah.
How slow are those things? They walked across a lake in a whole season. That's all they did.
Mm-hmm. The whole point of that is because the books are coming out.
The books are like this big as well.
Yeah. There's so much things that are happening in the books. And you've got to put that into a TV format so that you know what's going on within the whole entire world.
That's the thing.
TV show.
They could do what some manga series, anime series do, where they're like, "Oh, you didn't like this? Well, go read the fucking manga." They could be like, "Well, you don't like the TV series? Go read the books." But they make way too much money off of the TV series to not.
Well, they've had like massive names in this.
Yeah.
Sean Bean, for instance,
dies in the first season.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoilers. If you're not watching it, you're not gonna watch it.
It's so good. Like, I sat there, everyone frothed at the mouth about this show.
Mm-hmm.
I did for The Walking Dead, and I was like, it's going to be this kind of Lord of the Rings medieval rip-off.
Yeah.
I just can see it. And then I watched it and was like, oh my god.
Do you know what? I think that's the reason I can't get into it. Because I'm not a massive fan of it. I've enjoyed it, but I've not been enjoying it as much as I did, say, The Walking Dead.
Did you watch season 3? And season 4?
I've stopped.
Watch season 3 and watch season 4.
You know what? I will watch it. I'll finish watching it. On a day when I've got no anime left to watch, I will watch it. So, how much have I got left up there? I've got 1, 2... See, I've only got 2 series up there. So, yeah. I've only got 2 series to finish. They're both 25 episodes, so I've got 50 episodes to watch. Once I finish both of those, I will sit down and I will watch every episode of
Game of Thrones. And I will, trust me, when you get to season 3, near the end of season 3, you will love it. It's sick. Then you get into season 4, and you'll love it even more because there's more action in season 4.
I see one episode. I don't know what episode it is, but it was really funny. So they're all in like a bar area, and all of a sudden they all just start stabbing each other. It's like
I know which one you're on about.
The woman's pregnant and he just stabs her in the stomach and was like, your baby's dead. And then he goes back and like stabs her a couple of times, and he stabs someone else. Someone else comes along, stabs her in the back of the neck, and I was like, what is going on? Why is all this happening?
Welcome to the weddings of Game of Thrones.
Oh, God. Oh, bloody hell. Wayne Rooney just got kicked in the head.
If there is a wedding in Game of Thrones,
people die.
Someone will die.
Or lots of people will die.
Yes.
But, away from Game of Thrones, so are you looking forward to Naruto finishing?
Yes and no. I want to know the ending.
But you don't want to.
Don't get me wrong. I feel like it's going to be rushed within the 4 weeks.
I do.
Unless we're going to have extremely long chapters, or the final chapter is going to be a really, really long chapter.
That would be cool.
I would be really happy with that.
If the last chapter was like a volume length, that would be fucking cool as shit.
Wrapping it all up in a big bow.
Like a huge
That's what I want.
chapter. I want it to be like 100 pages chapter.
Yeah.
So basically it'd be like 10 chapters.
In one. It'd be nice.
Because most chapters are what, like 12 pages long?
They're about 20.
Okay then. About 5 chapters long. So in theory it would be 10 chapters for the final fight, which would make sense. That's about the right length. And the thing is with they can't drag on that fight for too long. That's the thing, honestly. Because we've seen them fight before.
And we can't have... We saw some really cool fights, and we saw a really bad fight in the final fight. Oh, in the final battle of this...
I'm not up to date, so I don't know.
Chapter. Yeah, that's why I'm trying to be...
Yeah. I'm looking forward to buying it, to be fair. I can't decide whether just to buy the 3-in-1s or just go through and buy all of it. I really can't decide.
Just buy the standard...
Volume.
You know how it comes out in Blue Exorcist?
Yeah, like...
Format.
So it would just be like that. It would just be like the normal single volumes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think I'll just buy the normal single volumes.
It's so much easier.
Because they release the 3-in-1s every now and again. They just release them whenever they've got like spare time.
And to be honest, like, you can get hold of those chapters really easily.
Oh,
and if you're missing one on the internet, then there is the comic book shop in your town.
Oh man, it's so expensive in the shop by me. It's like £8 a volume.
Yeah. But
you can get them on the
book.
book.
That for a normal volume.
Yeah, I'm saying, but you can get them from the book depository for £3 a volume.
Not bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it from there, so it's super cheap there. But if you want to quickly talk about the newest episode.
Talk about the newest episode, then I'll go into the manga on the other two.
Okay.
Right. So to keep our story on with Naruto, this week's episode was titled "The God Tree." Pretty much.
Yeah.
What did you think of it? Give me your...
It was a really cool episode. I liked the way it went. Like, the beginning was really happy. It was really funny. They had all the comedy aspects. They had I can't think what his name is now. What's Naruto's dad called? I can't think of his name. Minato.
Oh, Minato.
They had Minato, like, saying how he felt good, like, as if he was with Kushina again. I liked the fact that Naruto was joking with Kurama, how there was just all of this really funny, happy stuff, and then it all just went downhill.
And then the bomb dropped.
It was that the pacing of this episode was executed so perfectly. They had the happiness, went a little bit downhill, boom, all went. I was like, that was perfect. And the way at the end where they just show Naruto seeing all of those dead bodies, just all of them laying there.
Especially after what he said.
How he was never going to let any of his friends die and all of this stuff, and how they'd always be in his heart. And it's like, I'm going to protect everyone. And there was nothing he could have done about that. And I think that's what made it better, was the fact there was nothing he could have done about it. But I know he's going to blame himself, and I really like that.
And then we saw Sasuke doing a Sakura.
Yeah, just standing there. I was like... and I like that as well. I thought Naruto was going to like have a go at him for not doing anything. just standing there and letting everyone die, but we didn't see it. And in fact, I didn't watch the preview. I usually watch the preview for next episode, but I didn't this week because last week I got spoiled by the preview, and I was fucking pissed. You know, what's his name? Oh, look, the third Hokage, Hiruzen.
No, you're on about
Saratobi.
Saratobi.
Is his first name Hiruzen or Hiruzan?
No.
I can't
Yeah.
think. Saratobi, anyway. So Saratobi saves Naruto from the tree of God, or what, the God tree. And it was like, that would have been a cool moment, but I knew it was coming because I watched the flipping preview. And it's like, why would you put that in the preview? That was the end of the episode. You can't put the end of the episode in the end of the episode
a major
before.
Chunk of the whole episode in.
Yeah. All they had to do was show the cool shit like Naruto inside the head of the Ninetales. How cool does that fucking look?
It was a lot better than what it was in the manga.
Everyone said that.
The whole linkage of him.
Yeah, I thought that was really flipping cool.
I'm trying to think what it reminds me of. There's a one show, and there was a link that they had in the back of the head. And it goes into the mech or whatever it is that they're part of.
Oh, I can't think what you're talking
But
about.
it also reminds me of Madara and Obito controlling the Ten Tails.
Yeah, when they were attached to it, yeah.
Schwab.
But no, I thought this week's episode was really, really good. And that makes
You
me
finally
happy.
find out what the Ten Tails actually was as well.
Yeah, I like the way they told the backstory was really good. Apart from the fact that, like, Madara just was like, hey, you know I, like, constantly badgered to fight you? Well, let's take a break and talk. I was a bit like...
They couldn't really fight because...
The ground was all breaking and shit.
Not just that, the chakra is being pulled out.
Yeah, they would jump in as quick as they could so they weren't on it. Which was stupid as well in itself. They're the god among shinobi. They should have just been able to jump completely away as far as they could.
Because there's a reason behind that. And the reason is, do you remember Hashirama's forest attack that he can do?
Yeah.
Same as Madara.
It's basically the same, yeah.
Yeah. Which everything just comes in at once and you have no chance of getting out of it.
Yeah.
That's what's happening at the moment. Until the roots finally just settle,
which
we won't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
they just did.
I thought this week's episode was really good, and that's what makes me happy, is both Naruto and the One Piece anime are really good at the moment.
I still haven't been watching the One Piece anime.
So, well, you're like, how many episodes behind now? You're like 100 odd?
I don't know.
Yeah,
last time I watched it was they were at the green bit.
The green... Oh, wait. Oh, so you're fine. You take you like a couple of days to catch up.
If that.
Of solid watching. But, no, you can't solid watch it because you have to watch the rest of Black Lagoon.
Ah, so good.
It is good. But
yeah, back to Naruto.
It's really good right now. I'll just say that.
The whole actually telling you who Kaguya was and how the human beings in Naruto got chakra was so good.
Yeah. And I thought it was really cool backstory, and I liked how it explained why Madara completely went the way he did. He basically discovered that humans are worthless. Humans have always taken and always destroyed. And I like the way that... Because in theory, we just looked at it like Madara just made up his mind one day, fuck it, I'm going to be completely evil now. That's kind of how it looked. And I like
it's kind of a redemption, but not a redemption.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, he in his mind, nothing will ever be right. The only way he can make the world perfect is to destroy it. That's his mindset, and I really like that. I don't like Obito's mindset, though, of I'm going to create a fake world where I fake being happy. Because, to be honest, he's going to know it's fake, and that's what will depress him more. And I know in the manga, blah, 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 but whatever, I don't care.
Green.
The manga, like, that is my honest opinion. I think the manga and the anime need to be not compared and put as separate entities. Because if you constantly compare them, you come up with the things like what I said. If you watch Berserk on its own, Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I can. I was just worried about my headset. My headset's having issues.
Oh, no problem. That's the problem with shows like Berserk is if you don't read the manga, the anime kind of sucks. The anime's good, like what it tells you, but it doesn't end anything. And the ending is it's like the part just before an ending, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you're like, I need more! So you go and buy all of the manga, and there's like 100 volumes of it, so it costs you a fortune. But, speaking of England just scored again. That was an absolute cracker. But speaking of money, we'll move on to that after you talk about One Piece and Bleach manga.
Okay, One Piece manga. We saw some really, really cool things.
That's the point. I see a review of it. I didn't watch it, but I see the title, and they said Oda does it again. So he done something well, I'm guessing.
Oh, it was so good. So good. We're having this backstory at the moment of Doflamingo.
Oh, yeah.
And how he knows Trafalgar Law and the whole story between Trafalgar Law and Doflamingo's backstory.
Mm-hmm.
In which last week's manga we were left with Trafalgar Law being in a sticky situation in which he had stabbed Doflamingo's brother. And we're sat there like, oh god. And someone found him and is going to go to Doflamingo. So we're all sat there like, okay, this is Trafalgar Law being attacked within this next week, and we have no idea why. But somehow, I think I have it in my head that it's Corazon.
I don't know.
Is the name of the character?
Yeah, because we've not met a lot of the characters that
Yeah.
are in the manga at the moment.
Well, you have. You're only missing one.
Yeah.
At this moment. And what happens is, we're sat there like, oh my god! Corazon then figures out a way to say that Trafalgar Law didn't actually cause any issues.
Mm.
And also, Corazon is mute, or doesn't speak.
So he can't explain it.
Yeah. He writes down on pieces of paper,
Oh, okay.
like, what he means. Which is really, really cool. When he's talking to Doflamingo, and Doflamingo talks to him, he's like, who did this to you? And he goes, enemy. Everything okay?
So he never writes like precisely what the problem is. He'll just write a general, this'll be enough.
Yeah.
Have you well, you obviously have met him. What's his name? It's like Baby something.
Oh, not Baby 5.
Not Baby 5. He wears he has a
Yeah, I
dummy,
know
he
who
wears
you
a
mean. He's
nappy.
going against Frankie at the moment.
Yeah, in the anime. Oh, are they fighting in the manga as well?
No, like, I know where you are.
I was about to say, no way are they still fighting. That's how close we are. Yeah, he's fighting. He is so cool. That guy is straight balling. He sat there and all the girls are like, what is his name? I can't think. But they're all like gushing over him, and then he's just like, bitch, rips off her bra, get me a drink. I'm like, what a legend. And then they're all like they're all hitting on him. He's like, I don't go for young girls like you.
Yeah. And you see him in that, and he's kind of fat. He's a bit chubby.
Yeah.
And then you see him in the manga, he's a bit chubby when he's fighting Frankie. And then when you go back to the flashback, he's this really suave looking guy. He's still got the baby stuff on.
Yeah, but he's like gentlemanly looking.
Yeah, and he's skinny, and he's like, and everyone's still gushing over him, and it's like, oh my god, so cool.
That's the thing with One Piece that I think it has over Naruto is One Piece has more characters that are enjoyable than Naruto.
I would agree with you there.
Yeah, and it has a better world in my opinion. Like the world to One Piece is so big. And that's because of how
we actually have a storyline. We're
Yeah.
told at the beginning, this is the storyline of what's going to actually happen.
They're going to come from here. They're going to end up here, but they're going to do this in the process.
Whole way through.
Yeah,
It's going to take us a while to get there.
it's like I like that though. It's like certain games.
In Naruto, we were told, right, Naruto is going to complete the Chunin exams and become Hokage one day.
But
This is his goal. But
nothing else matters. That's it. Like, sort of
and then you get told pretty much, you get this, I'm going to be Hokage, I'm going to be Hokage, I'm going to be Hokage, and then nothing.
Yeah. But one thing I will say, so if I was to, because obviously I'm not up to date with the Bleach anime, I can't put that into the bundle. But if I compare Naruto and One Piece, they both have certain things over each other. The One Piece world and characters, in my opinion, are better.
Luffy is one that I wouldn't say was
But that's
better.
what I was about to say. Naruto is one of the greatest anime characters of all time, and
He's got a very full story.
that's the thing. A lot of people agree. A lot of people don't like Naruto because he's very much the standard shonen character, friends for the win, friend power, and all that stupid shit. But he went from being the kid that no one liked, everyone in his village hated him. He picked up one friend, and the friend didn't even like him. The friend, it progresses. Slowly, people start to like him. He gets his little group of friends. He loses the most important friend. His new friends help him try and regain the friend. Doesn't work. And then he slowly becomes the hero of the village. And now he's the hero of the world.
Yeah.
Like, his progression from absolute bottom to absolute top is so perfectly done. And a lot of people don't put that into consideration with the series. They go, why would I watch the series? It's 700 episodes long and it has 200 episodes of filler. Why would I watch it? Because you cannot tell that kind of story and that kind of character progression in 20 episodes. It's just not possible.
Oh, definitely not. Like,
No.
we have, at the beginning of the show, we find out Naruto's lonely. His parents aren't alive. No one likes him in the village. He is a troublemaker.
Yeah.
The only person that actually shows him any kind of friendship is his teacher.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Iruka Sensei shows him, don't be a bad kid and things might be good for you.
Did Iruka stay in the village?
No.
Where the fuck is he?
He was on the island.
He was, I remember, yeah. He was on the island where Naruto trained to control the Ninetales.
Yeah.
Where is he now? There are so many people. Yamato, Tenten...
We've seen Guy. Guy was on that island and Guy left.
Nothing... Oh my god, there are so many missing characters. And apparently they're not... You haven't seen them in a while. Obviously you've seen Guy because I know part of the story with Guy. But you haven't seen Yamato in how long?
Since he was captured.
Exactly. What are they going to do with him? Have they just let him die? Because his chakra was getting drained.
I need to freaking know with him.
Yeah, I don't know if in the manga you've seen him, but I know in the anime we haven't seen Tenten in...
Oh,
we haven't.
That is one thing that's pissed me off.
We haven't seen her since the start of the war. What's been pissing you off about Tenten?
No, not Tenten. Yamato.
Oh.
Which we'll come back to in a second. Let's just finish off your bit, and I can go into this rant.
Like... I don't know.
Tenten's shit, let's be honest.
I feel like that's kind of a problem with Naruto, and with shows like One Piece in some aspect, but I think One Piece does it better. So, Naruto, with the problem with a long-running series like that, when you keep so many characters around, it's hard to keep them all involved. Like, Tenten is one of the Konoha 11. And we haven't seen her in about 100 or so episodes.
That's because she's Jesus.
But she's one of the Konoha 11.
Yeah.
It's like, she is theoretically one of the most important characters. What about Rock Lee?
You haven't seen him in how long?
Well, we see him... Last time we see him was when Neji died.
No. You didn't see him when Neji died?
Yeah, because he was crying.
No.
He was... Wait, you're
I bet you any money.
He was.
Rock Lee hasn't been seen.
No, he
in a
was.
very long time.
No, honestly, he was crying when Neji died, and then Mike Guy was like, "Be a man. People die on the battlefield," but was actually crying himself. That was the very last time. That was what 20 episodes ago. That's way too long to not see Rock Lee, one of the strongest taijutsu fighters in the village.
Part of the Konoha 11. Sorry, I'm pulling up things as we go.
Ah,
So yeah, that was his debut. This is my problem also with Narutopedia.
well, they don't have
It
their
gives
last episode.
It gives you the debut, but never tells you the last episode that they were seen.
It doesn't do it until they die. That's just the way they do it.
Alright, part 2.
Like, if you search Jiraiya, they'll have when he died, and that'll be his last appearance, even though he's appeared in flashbacks.
Yeah, it's so annoying. I can keep on speaking while I'm talking.
Yeah, but no, that was the last time we see him, was when Neji died, because they kind of had the bit where they went across everyone. They went like Shikamaru, Ino, Choji, Rock Lee, Naruto. They went across everyone and showed it. I wonder if Neji would have survived if Sakura was there to heal him. Probably
Oh, there
not.
he is. Yeah, you were right.
Yeah, I was going to say, but that's still too long ago. That was 20 episodes ago. Ish. I don't know how long ago actually was. We're on 381 of Shippuden right now. But that is a problem with long-running series, is how characters can disappear at times. And it can make the world feel a little bit hollow. And that's where I feel like One Piece takes that little nudge to Naruto, is that characters that we still implicate on the story actually make reappearances. But then there are examples where they don't, like Vivi. Vivi is the princess of one of the biggest villages in the world, and yet she has no implication on the story right now.
There is a point on that one actually.
Yeah, I've
Which I
heard
will
it gets
say.
brought up later, yeah.
No. In the manga, we have a different way of like the story progressing.
Mm.
So, for instance, who was the big guy, the fish guy? I've forgotten his name.
Oh, what, the blue one? I can't think of what his name is
Yeah.
now. But yeah, he's the one
Same
of
as
the...
Akuji. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You see them during the manga. What happens is every manga chapter, there's a little bit at the beginning, which is a tiny little storyline which goes along during the arcs.
Oh, okay.
So, at the moment, we see the big guy. I've forgotten his name though.
I can't think of what his name is, but he's the king of the fish, basically.
Give me a second.
Not really. Neptune's the king of the fish on the series. But I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I can't think what his name is, but yeah, I like him. I can't wait till he joins the crew, because he has to kill... Luffy has to beat Big Mama for him to join the crew. And Big Mama's just arrived on the village. Big Mama's just arrived, and Sanji's about to fight Big Mama. I was like,
What?
yeah.
That's not happened in the manga.
England just scored again. Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Okay.
But,
That's
so
not...
Big Mama's just rocked up on a massive boat. Her boat is like the same size as the island, as Dressrosa. It's so ridiculous. But, so she's just arrived, or I'm not sure. But, Sanji is going to go fight her, and it's like, you realise she's one of the Yonko. You're third in command on Luffy's boat. It's like there's a huge skill gap here. You could even beat Doflamingo.
It's really complicated on that whole entire system. If I'm not lying on it, in which with One Piece we actually get to see a lot more people.
Yeah.
For instance, we saw Akaji. We're seeing him like move along, and we're seeing if I can find the freaking character at the moment.
Oh, what, are you trying to find the fish?
He's part of the Chichibukai.
Part of the Shinjibukai, yeah. The warlords, basically. He's on the same level as Doflamingo. But,
which is so cool.
But, actually, the last One Piece episode was done really well.
Right.
And they voice acted Sabo to perfection. They got Sabo's voice so right.
I haven't actually seen his.
Watch not the last episode, the episode before, and just listen to the part where he goes, "Luffy, it's been a while." His voice is so perfect.
When I heard it, I was like, "Yep, they did such a good job there." Sabo sounds exactly how I expected him to sound, and that doesn't happen very often. Like, I'm sure where you've read a manga before, and then the characters turned up, and you're like, "His voice sounds shit."
Yeah.
Like, have you watched? Oh, what's his name? Fucking the guy that does this thing.
Bartholomew.
Bartholomew. Have you watched the anime with him in it yet?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of that.
His voice in that is really good. He has a
It's
really
perfect.
annoying voice, and that's how he's supposed to sound, and I love it.
Okay, to go back into characters.
Mm-hmm.
Jinbei.
Jinbei, that's his name.
Right. Jinbei is his, like... He's going through trying to find the Straw Hats at the moment.
Okay.
Because he's going to join the crew.
Yeah. So I get it. So there's like little mini stories of what's going on with the other characters at the moment. That's cool.
You don't get very long things. It will only be like one image per week.
It's just a summary of what's going on.
It's like Jinbei comes across a police dog fish.
Yeah.
That's stopping him because he's in trouble and he's been like towed away at the moment.
But
Things like that.
That makes the world feel three-dimensional instead of 2D. Like, if you look at Naruto at the moment, the absolute only thing that's happening is this war. And that's because it's a world war, so it's the most important thing. But it feels like there are no other people than Shinobi in the world right now. You get what I mean? It feels like there are no normal people. I feel that's a real weak spot of certain shows. Like, I'm sure you've watched something where it's like, this person's the most deadly person in the world, but they only do stuff to Japan. Just because. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
It's like, why is this guy only doing stuff to Japan when he could apparently conquer the world, but he conquers Japan?
It's so confusing.
It can make a world feel hollow. But anyway, carry on.
So we get that. We had it with Akaji, and then at the moment we're sat there and we're trying to figure out what's going on with the other Chichibukai.
Mm-hmm. What, all of them, or just?
Yeah, kind of Doflamingo as well, or at least I am. I'm trying to figure it out.
Oh.
In my own way, because we've got Doflamingo, who is still a Shichibukai.
Yeah, but he's royalty though. That's the thing.
In what way?
He's related to the heads of the Marines and stuff.
Oh, you mean the Celestial Dragons?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he was.
He was. I was. Well, they just announced it that he basically said they were like, "How do you have so much power? How could you trick the world government?" He's like, "I am the world government." And it's like, that was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. Well, he was a Celestial Dragon before.
Yeah.
His dad provoked it.
Yeah.
His dad was just like, I don't want to be a Celestial Dragon anymore. Which revoked Doflamingo and his
family,
brother.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. So we've got that. Buggy somehow is a Shichibukai.
Because he has a really strong crew, though. That's the thing.
Not particularly.
Well, in theory, he does. He has like a really big group of soldiers, of people who have bounties over 100 million.
He only has
Every single person in his crew, though,
10
has a higher bounty
10
than him.
crewmates.
Well, he has 10 named crewmates. That's the thing. When he went into Impel Down, he recruited all of the people he released.
In level 1 and 2.
Yeah, so he has like a really... basically, he has the elite.
He has a fleet now.
Yeah, that's the thing. And he basically lied and said he was friends with Shanks. Well, he was friends with Shanks, but as soon as they heard he was Shanks' right-hand man, they're like, whoa, this guy must be pretty strong, but really he's a pussy.
Oh, that's right. He's also not just a... he's no longer just Buggy. He's got Alvida.
Yeah, there's
So-
Alvida. And then, as I said, he signed he basically got all of those people from Impel Down. So he has a huge crew
Yeah,
now.
it says here.
Yeah.
which is so cool.
I think they said every single person on his crew now has a higher bounty than him.
Well, he technically doesn't have
a bounty anymore because he's a Shichibukai, yeah.
Well, actually, the total bounty of his crew is 20 million berry.
That's the only thing though, is you can't 100% bank on it because they haven't explained every character. That's only the people's bounties we know.
No, it's been taken into context.
Oh, fair
the
enough.
info down.
But no, I've been enjoying both of the long running series I'm watching at the moment. I don't know. I want to watch more Bleach, but at the same time I can't be bothered. Well, I'm only watching it with my brother.
Yeah.
But I don't know. At the moment we're watching Cowboy Bebop. I'm seeing him this weekend, so I might try and watch as much Bleach as possible.
Well, like, if we go to Bleach...
Yeah, let's talk about Bleach for a minute.
Go away from the whole massive One Piece episodes. We go on to Bleach. We've seen how strong Zero Division is.
Yeah, you said about it.
Or partial amount of Zero Division actually this week, which was so cool. I was out there like, oh, cool. So, the highest people within
Soul Society.
The highest people within Soul Society are now facing.
What, they're fighting?
No, they're fighting You Are Back, as he's known.
I don't know.
He is the head of the Quincy's.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
King of the Quincy's.
King of the Quincy's.
And he actually has like an elite group that are part of him. They're like his version of the Gotcha 11.
Didn't you say that Ichigo's not been in the series much recently?
Lately, he hasn't. Still hasn't shown up.
I can't understand that with a long-running series. Could you imagine One Piece or Naruto where the main Luffy or Naruto weren't in it? It would be so weird. I can't even imagine it. But the thing is with Bleach compared to One Piece and Naruto is there is no end goal to Bleach. What's the end goal of Bleach? Get rid of all of the hollows?
No, the whole end goal to Bleach is just to defend.
Exactly.
Soul Society.
Bleach could literally go on forever. Until Ichigo dies, it could go on.
Yeah, which is kind of a worrying thing.
When you think about it, they could keep Bleach going as long as they want. Because I bet Ichigo, at the moment, is probably 19 still. He was 15 when the series started.
Which one's that? I'm just reading up on things. Because there's subclasses within the Wonder Reich.
Mm-hmm. England just scored a fourth.
Is this...
But,
no, this is a different section.
But
right.
No, carry on.
Back on to the whole entire Bleach section that we've been having lately. So, the Zero Division has just started their fight. And their fight has reached some major impasses. Okay?
Okay.
We saw the Stone Ritter Elite Corps switch completely. we had it in which it was like, okay, the Stone Ritter Elite Corps is going to be this amazing group, and no one's going to be able to beat them, and screw everybody, and no one else is going to matter. So what happens? We actually finally have first the Zero Division, like one of the captains in the Zero Division, one of the people in the Zero Division started fighting, killed off one of the Elite Corps who controls the wind, so she can't be hit.
Yeah, okay.
And she's like, "Oh, you can't land a strike on me. I'm freaking baller." And you're like, "Cool."
You're pretty
And then-
baller.
Then she goes, "I already have," and she's like, "What?" And you're thinking it's going to end like, I've forgotten his name. He's my favorite character from One Piece.
Oh, Brooke.
Yeah.
I've already hit you.
Where- It's like, "I've already hit you," and you're going, "That's how it's going to happen." And she goes, "No, this is not how it happens." She goes, "You see those pieces of clothing that you're wearing?" She's like, "What?
And then they'll fall
This
down
pair-
or whatever.
Oh, this pair of clothing? This is not my piece of clothing." She's like, changed her clothes.
That's pretty badass.
And she goes, I always mistake on my pieces of clothing whenever I do tailoring. I always leave the needle in. And then just goes like that. And these massive spikes come all the way through
Nice.
this person.
That sounds badass as shit. But that reminds me of a part of Dragon Ball. So in Dragon Ball, in the second World Tournament, the third World Tournament, Goku fights Tien Shenhan, and one of the parts they're doing is where they're trading to show how fast they are, because Tien prided himself on being really fast. So they're going super fast. No one can see what they're doing. And then when they both like come to the standstill and they're like, we're both even. And then all of a sudden Tien's trousers fall down, and it's because Goku had taken off his belt, so his trousers were loose. And it was like, that was a cool little thing. Like, we didn't actually get to see it until it happened. It's like, we see it at the same time as Tien. I kind of like things like that, where you're on like completely the same playing level as the characters.
Yeah. To bring you up to speed, like, at the moment, I'm waiting to see Shunsui fight again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really missing not being able to see Shunsui.
Sweet.
Do you remember him?
No.
8th Division leader.
Wait, 8th Division. He's got like a long fingernail, hasn't he? And he's got like the half black face and all that.
No. He's the guy
That's
with the
the
hat.
11th, isn't it?
Yeah. The guy with the hat. And he's always so lazy, and he's just...
Oh, is he the 8th
His-
Division? I thought he was like the 2nd Division for some reason.
Nope. The 8th Division leader, Shunsui Kyoku, who's vice captain, like, always has a go at him.
Yeah. He doesn't wear like the usual captain gear. He wears like a pink floral coat thing instead.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like my favourite captain apart from Kenpachi.
Kenpachi Zaraki.
He is a fucking badass.
He's a beast. Let's be honest.
One of the things I love is how he does stuff to give his opponents benefits. Like, he wears the eye patch, which eats his power. What do they have? They don't. What is what they call their power or energy in that?
I can't remember.
But he has the eye patch anyway that eats away at his energy.
Yeah.
And then he wears the bells on his head so that people can hear him coming and things like that. It's like he does everything to make his fights last as long as possible.
Because he loves it.
Yeah,
He's
he
like
loves the fight.
sadomasochist.
And that's why I love the first fight between him and Ichigo, which I think Ichigo should have lost instead of Kenpachi.
Yeah.
Kenpachi pretty much gets cut in half, but he enjoys it. He's like, this is a good fight. I'm actually enjoying myself. Oh my god, England just scored a 5th, and it was an absolute beauty.
Okay. So tell you the character that I'm on about a minute ago. This is female, and her name's Senjumaru Shutara.
Okay.
And she's so cool. She's like, wears this long dress with like a crown.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got this blade, and she just goes like that. And you just see the needles just spike this person.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Right. Do you want to quickly cut away from like all the big three?
okay, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to talk about what you've been watching or what I've been watching?
Go you first, because I've had a really easy week.
Right. So I'll actually grab what I've been watching. I've been watching Madoka Magica, and I really, 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 really recommend you to watch it. I will lend you the Blu-ray. Do you have a Blu-ray player?
I have one downstairs. Yeah.
Yeah, you really need to watch it. I will say it's the best 12 episode anime of all time, in my opinion.
Really?
Yep, it is so good. And you look at it, can you see it at all? Right?
Yeah.
You look at the character design. It's nothing like what you expect. Like, it's so good. Don't read anything about it. Just watch it because it is so fucking good. I don't really want to say a lot about it apart from go watch it because it's one of those shows like if you watch Clannad and you don't know it's going to be sad, you get the best out of it. If you go into a show and you don't really know what's going to happen, you enjoy it more. So all I can really say is go watch Madoka Magica as soon as you can. In fact, watch Madoka Magica as soon as you finish what you've been watching.
Shall do.
So tell us what you've been watching.
What I've been watching is I've watched Naruto and Black Lagoon. That's been my week's watching, apart from reading the big names.
Yep, so how far into Black Lagoon are you?
12 episodes, so I finished the first series.
Yeah, the first
And
branch.
it's so good.
It's such a crazy show, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like
And-
I love Black Lagoon. The thing, Black Lagoon's one of those stories where I say stories. There's no real story to it.
It doesn't have one, apart from, like, you want to find out about...
How rock and how everything, yeah. But it's a very, very character-driven show. If you really look at it, there's no story whatsoever. The story is Rock Lee got captured. Now watch him progress into a badass. That's your story.
Yeah.
And when you watch Death Note, did you watch it dubbed or subbed?
I watched it subbed, I think.
Yeah.
Or was it dubbed?
So
No, I watched it dubbed.
the voice actor for Rock in Black Lagoon is the same voice actor as Light Yagami in Death Note.
Alright.
And he does a really good job in both. But if you just want to quickly talk about Black Lagoon's dub, because
Black Lagoon's dub is freaking amazing.
it's so good. And they do one of the things that I kind of get annoyed with in dubs, which is when characters are speaking different languages and they do it all in American, but they kind of do the same for Japanese, if that makes sense. Like, because Rock is the translator, isn't he? He goes to the shows with... oh, wait, you might not have seen this. He goes to the meetings with Bella Laika, who I'm sure you've met already.
Yeah.
So he'll go with her, and if the people can't speak Russian, he speaks Japanese with them, and they all translate together. And what happens, though, is they're all just speaking the same language because it's a dub. So it's like, he'll speak English, Rock Lee will translate it in English, she will reply in English. And it's like, this makes no sense.
It's so bad.
But so when that happened, I was like, okay, this is a reason I should watch the sub. I watched the sub, and it's exactly the same, but in Japanese. So he'll speak Japanese, Rock will speak Japanese, Bella Laika will speak Japanese. And it just goes around again. I'm like, for fuck's sake. At least in shows like Kuroko no Basuke, which I watched recently, when they speak when they speak English, the Japanese people are like, what are they saying? I can't understand them. And it's because the people who are speaking English are actually speaking English.
Yeah.
I really like that. That should be done in shows. They should actually speak the language they're supposed to be speaking.
It'd be nice. It would be nice. Because, I mean, didn't you tell me that Revy in Black Lagoon, the sub version, actually speaks English?
Well, so she speaks Japanese throughout most of the show.
Okay.
But there are scenes when she speaks in English, but the voice actor can't speak English at all. So when she does it, nothing she says makes sense. The only word you hear is fuck, and you just hear it over and over again. So
that's one of those things where I'm saying I wish they did do it, but they physically can't because the voice actor cannot speak English.
Yeah.
But yeah. But that's a problem though. She's American, so she should be able to speak English. But what can you expect, really?
It's pretty bad. I really did like the sub. I really like Revy as a character.
You mean
I
the
can't
dub?
wait to yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, the dub. I really can't wait to find out what has actually happened in her life.
I'm just gonna say, you'll be disappointed.
Really?
Yeah, you don't find out. you,
Oh.
you do a little bit, but it's made by who is it made by? I think it was made by Bones. I'm not sure. You don't take my word for that. But I think it was made by Bones, and they have become really well known for making really good shows that don't have a proper ending and then never releasing anything more for it. So at the moment, Black Lagoon doesn't have a really, really good ending. It has an okay ending, but nothing special. Yeah. And we'll probably never see any more of it.
Right.
But yeah, that's not a reason not to carry on watching it, because it's action-packed and crazy.
Yeah. But, I mean, for me, Black Lagoon has been freaking epic with the whole Nazis.
Right, you remember the Nazi episode?
Yeah.
Didn't you love the bit where they say, like, play the game with him, and they're like, there's no point, he's obviously gonna shoot me. It's like, play the game with him. So they hand the guy the gun. You got one bullet, shoot one of us. And he's like,
no, because they don't actually say, he doesn't actually say he's gonna shoot me. He's like, black or white.
yeah,
I'm betting black.
it's like he's Nazi, he's gonna go black. He pulls out the gun and starts trying to shoot at the black guy, but it's empty, and he's like, I fucking told you, this was a pointless bet.
So good.
That part was, and the build up to that part was perfect as well, with Revy with the music in her ears, just it's like.
And then you got the guy that's there, and he's like huge, and he goes, "This is a special," and he goes through the whole entire the gun's speciality, and it gets shot. He's like, "You can't shoot me! I was telling you about it."
It's like
got a gun.
It's like the famous Indiana Jones scene where the guy's like spinning the sword around, and Indiana Jones just goes and shoots him.
Yeah.
He's like, "This is the most powerful gun in the world. It's a mixture between the Walter P900 and this and that. Blah blah blah. No man, only me can shoot this. No woman could ever shoot this." And she just goes, "Shut the fuck up!" Boom, 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 and shoots him. And it's like, badass.
And he's like, he just looks at her, what?
You can't shoot me.
I'm telling you about the gun.
Oh man, I remember watching that and just enjoying it so much. It's such a good series.
It's just her like casually strolling throughout the whole entire.
With like incredibly heavy metal in her ears, just like.
She's kind of just strolling through each way.
And enjoying herself as she does it. That's the thing.
And then you get Dutch that just goes, "There's a problem here. There's a big problem."
Who says that?
Dutch.
Oh, that's his name. You know what? I was trying to think of his name earlier. And all I could keep thinking in my head was his name was Black. But you know, the only reason I thought that is because I was comparing it to Cowboy Bebop. And Cowboy Bebop's actually really similar. No, it's not. I take that back. It's similar in one sort of way where it has the main character who's kind of a badass, and then you've got the strong black character who is strong-minded and keeps everyone like level, if that makes sense.
I wouldn't say that Rock is a strong character.
Yeah, true. But in one sense, it is really similar in that the story is the characters, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The story is watching the characters together.
I'm really pissed off now that I won't actually find out what happened to Revy. Because, to fill you in, if you haven't already watched it, at the end of every episode, the music starts to fade away, and then we get this like really sad music,
Mm-hmm.
and you start to see Revy just walking
just walking constantly, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Just her feet. You don't actually see her. Really.
It's like her from her shins down sort of thing, isn't it?
Yeah. And you're sat there like, oh my god, there's a really depressive story here. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Is this story?
They do talk about it, but you never get like a conclusive roundup of what happened in her life. You just basically get her saying shit happened, like sort of thing.
I was a gutter rat.
Yeah, basically that's how it.
The Bloodhound episodes.
Oh my god.
Those were so cool. Like Rivy versus the Bloodhound at the end.
Wait, have you met Roberta?
Yeah, that's the Bloodhound.
Yeah, sorry. When she's just hanging on the car, like whoa.
Yeah,
and
they talk about the Terminator about it.
If I was to sum up Black Lagoon, I would call it crazy bitches with guns, because you've got Revy, you've got Roberta, and you've got Bella Laika, and they are three of the most badass female characters ever.
Like one of the episodes, it's just like we have the three most dangerous women around us at this moment in time.
Oh man, the bit though where Bella Laika's just sat there smoking on her cigar, and that girl and her brother are trying to get to Bella Laika, and all of a sudden the girl's leg just gets blown off, goes flying across the floor, and she's like, "You motherfucker!" And then her arm gets blown off, and you're like, "Holy shit!" And you just
Bella Laika is crazy.
She, in my opinion, is the most badass character in that show. I'd put her above Revy.
Well, I haven't really got to meet her that much.
Right. There's a part where she beats up like male characters, and you're like, Bella Laika's a badass.
I want to know about the scars as well on her.
They explain it later on.
Good. Because you sit there and you're like,
because you've watched the part where they explain that she was part of the Russian army, and she was like an elite soldier. Her group of soldiers are elite soldiers, and now she is a crime syndicate with elite quality soldiers as her men. Like, she basically rules shit.
Like, I think I've just finished the story with the Triad. Where the Triad send them out to the CIA.
Yeah, because you've got to watch all you've got left is the second barrage, which is another 12 episodes. And then if you wanted to, you could watch Roberta's Blood Trail, the OVAs. There's 6 of them. But you don't need to watch them. They just tell more backstory about Roberta.
Roberta's so cool, though.
She is really cool. Because she was like a Russian military person or some shit
Cuban.
like that. Yeah, Cuban. She was a badass. But, so that's pretty much everything we've been watching. And they're 2 really good shows that both of us recommend, so...
Definitely.
I've just started reading Bakuman, as you can see behind me. I've only read the first 20 pages, so I can't really talk about it. But do you want to move on to my next topic, which is
PC updates?
Yeah, I've got some PC upgrades, and then we'll move on to like PC gaming in general.
Yeah.
So I have bought some new PC parts.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a lot of PC parts and a lot of expensive PC parts, and I've spent all my money. I have no money left. That's all. Like none. 0. I'm broke. So I bought the Nvidia GTX Asus 970 Strix Overclock 2, which is currently the 4th best Nvidia graphics card on the market. 3rd, really. It's better than the standard 780, and it's more efficient. So I bought that. That was 300 quid. I am buying a new motherboard, another 8 gig of RAM, and a new case. The case I'm buying is huge. It's like as tall as my desk. It's the Fractal R4. If you want to quickly Google it, you'll see it's actually the most boring looking case ever. It's basically a big black box.
Is it the Define R4?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So I am upgrading my PC, so you can all look forward to some new gaming videos, because I can play games like FIFA at the absolute highest setting and record at the absolute highest setting. Whereas at the moment I have to play it on
low settings in order to record on decent settings, if that makes sense.
Give me seconds.
What are you looking for?
I've looked it up. I'm just now looking at price range on it.
It's like 70 quid. It's not a lot.
Alright, I was going to say, because it's 77 quid.
Yeah.
I was looking at... Why didn't you get it in white?
Because white is ugly and gets dirty.
No, white is gorgeous for PCs.
And besides, my colour scheme is all black, so...
Alright,
Yeah.
that makes sense for you.
Everything in my room is, apart from the walls... Oh, well, you can't really see because I've got 2 doors behind me. But this is black. And my walls are brown. I wish I had painted them white, because...
That looks nice. I've just found a different case.
What's this?
The NZXT H44.
I don't know what you're talking about. I can't search anything.
It's black at the moment. It's black, but it has like a red outline just going along the top.
Yeah.
It's tiny amounts of red, and it looks gorgeous.
Yeah, because I was gonna get the one with a window in the side of it, but that's an extra 30 quid just for the window.
Really?
Yeah, and because everything in my PC is red, so my graphics card is red, my RAM is red, my motherboard is red, my LEDs are red, so it would have looked really cool. But I'm not paying 30 quid for a window. But
somehow I don't blame you.
You need to upgrade your PC.
Well, my PC is not bad.
Mm-hmm. You're AMD though, so I have no idea what you have.
At the moment, I'm running a hex-core processor, which is, I think, a 4 gig hex-core processor. So it's pretty chunky. Little.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I don't know AMD. I don't know AMD well enough. That's the thing.
It's a really good processor. I'm running a 460 graphics card though.
A 460?
Yeah.
Is that
NVIDIA.
AMD? You're running an NVIDIA card. The 460? No, the 460 is an alright card.
It's an alright card, but it's getting on a bit.
How much would you pay for a new one? You need to buy a new motherboard though. That's the thing as well, don't you?
Oh, the motherboard's the first thing on the list at the moment.
I recommend the Asus Z87, and I think it's G45. It's a really, really nice board.
Give me a second, I'm gonna look at it.
It's the same one that I'm buying.
Oh, that's nice.
And it's...
Oh, but I meant to have a fucking case again.
Wait, what case?
I have a real issues with mid towers. I'm running an NZXT Phantom.
That motherboard I just said to use an ATX.
Yeah, no, that's not a problem. Like, I can fit whatever I really want into this.
This is the second biggest motherboard you can buy.
What is it? Asus
Z87.
Is that what you've just bought?
Well, I bought the Asus Z87 something premium platinum. It's like the best one you can buy.
It's the gold one.
This one's black and red. If you go on eBuyer and search it, you'll find it. But it's really nice, really, really, really nice.
Well, I don't know if I'll go for the Z87.
You could go for the Z97, which is better. It's a step up.
I want to go for Maximus.
That's what I have. It's called the Maximus Platinum for me.
Give me a second. But yeah, like the one thing that is left in my computer, which is from the original computer that I bought. I bought a really cheap, like 150 quid PC from someone because he wanted to get rid of it. I was like, yeah, I'll take that off your hands. It was working. It had a GTX 8800 in it.
Oh god, that's like a laptop bloody graphics card. It's not. I'm saying it's like one of the weakest ones you can get.
Now it is.
Yeah, that's what mine used to have actually.
It was a very, very good graphics card. I could run WoW on ultra settings on that one.
My laptop actually has an A800 in it.
And there it is. Intel's. Oh, I think I found one that I might go for.
What's this? A motherboard or?
Yeah. It's a Z87. Maximus 6 Extreme C2 motherboard.
Yep.
That looks pretty nice.
They are. They are so good. I go Asus with pretty much everything. Monitors, motherboards.
That's the problem with it, though.
What's
I've
that?
just seen one major problem with it.
What's that?
What's the one thing that motherboard has that I can't put into it?
Well, it's an Intel motherboard and you have an AMD processor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd have to buy a new processor.
So I'd have to upgrade my processor, which would cost me so much money.
Like 250 quid.
For
I only paid 170 for mine, but that's because I got it on a deal. I bought a.
That's the point, actually.
I bought.
I'm going to scan.
Oh, what you find in your stuff. But I bought a i5 4670K. Standard clocked at 3.4 gigahertz, and it's now overclocked to 4.1 gigahertz. So it's pretty beastie. I would update to an i7, but there's really no need to. Like, the difference between an i5 and an i7 isn't enough to warrant me but paying that much for a new one.
See, I could get the 797. Z97K, which is pretty much your motherboard. Just it doesn't look as pretty.
Oh yeah, it basically does the same thing, and it's overclockable. So anything, if you put a K series Intel processor in there, you can overclock it to 4.2 gigahertz sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I
found one on scan at the moment for 278 quid, which includes processor.
Oh really? What processor?
Intel G3258.
I don't know.
Has dual core though.
Yeah, you won't want that. You'd want at least an i5 in there. But we need to play some games together. We always say we're gonna, but then we never do.
Yeah, because it's so expensive. Like I play WoW 2 nights a week, as those are special raid nights in which I get told
you have to play. Yeah.
You need to be on at this point, otherwise we're going to kick you in the testicles. So
it's the same with me. I have no spare time anymore. Like, I actually some new person subscribed to my channel today. They actually asked if they could come on the show.
Did they?
Yeah, I was surprised. But
We'll get them on next time.
Yeah, maybe. I messaged them back, so. But I have like no spare time to make videos. At the moment, I'm writing 2 reviews. I write my Free Iwatobi Swim Club review, and I'm writing my Madoka Magica review. But it takes me an hour to write the review, but then it's the making it that takes a long time.
Yeah.
I just don't. I get home, and the first thing I want to do is stick on an anime DVD and get in bed. That's literally it, every night.
Somehow I don't blame you.
I'm just
so tired when it comes down to it. I don't work very long days, but what I have to do in a day
it's tiring, yeah.
Because it's physical, and by the time that you finish, it's just like, can I just go to sleep? And last night was the worst. I'm not even lying. I had work early in the morning.
Yeah.
Finish work, then I had to be back in at 4:30 to do a shift till 10:30.
Last thing. I finish work at 5 every day, and I came home, had dinner about 7, and then I was like, right, I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to watch Gasarakai, which is a mech series. Bought it for like 10 quid on eBay. And I was like, I'm going to lay down, I'm going to watch as much of it as I can. I got like 10 minutes into the first episode and I fell asleep. I was so tired. By about 9 o'clock I was asleep. And then I woke up at 2 o'clock at night, and because I was watching it on my TV, the music is blaring out loud all of a sudden at like gone midnight. I was like, oh god, I've got to turn that off. But,
sorry, I'm looking on a very, very nice website.
Well, we're coming to pretty much the close of the video.
One major thing that does have to be brought up before we finish.
Yeah. But my TV's gonna. Sorry, my TV can turn itself off. But what was I going to say? Yeah, we need to get some games playing together, man.
We really do, and it's just getting enough time together.
Have you
as a group?
Have you played Dota 2 at all?
Dota 2, yep.
Oh,
I've
damn it.
played it.
I was hoping we could both go in there new.
Oh, like, I haven't played it in a very long time.
Yeah, so we should definitely give Dota 2 a go because it's completely free.
Yeah.
Another game that I would like to give a try with somebody is PlanetSide 2.
Yep.
Would your rig be able to play it?
My rig can play it. The only thing, as I say, that lets down my PC is the motherboard and the graphics card.
Yeah.
My PC is pretty beastie.
You know what you want to do. So by the sounds of it, your processor's fine. You don't need to buy a new processor. Any sort of
I hate score.
no. I was going to say, by the sounds of it, you really need a new motherboard, and you're looking to buy a new graphics card. I would say go Team Green, but you already have AMD, so it's like I don't know whether to say stick with AMD or not.
This is the thing that I'm looking at. Do I switch over to Intel?
Intel and Nvidia, like, do you do it? I recommend it. I'm a fanboy of
I'm
Intel
already
and
an,
Nvidia.
I'm already an Nvidia
Yeah,
player. I love my Nvidia, my Nvidias because I think that they're just the best that you can get around.
Mm.
But there's a deal on at the moment on GTX Titans
How much?
for the Titan Z.
How much
12
is
gigs of graphics card. Oh.
yeah, but how much is their price?
For a one-day sale, it's 1,987 quid.
I just paid
So it
300.
is kind of the most powerful graphics card out there.
Yeah, like commercial wise. But I just paid 300 quid for the 970, which has a 4 gig RAM, which mine already has. But I wanted. I really, really wanted to upgrade. I recommend the 970, the i5 4670K, and the Asus Z87 motherboard. When you buy a motherboard from Asus, you want to make sure it says Z at the front. That's the important part. That means you can overclock it.
Yeah,
and your processor has to say K at the end. They're your two main things you have to worry about.
I don't need to worry with my processor. I know.
Yeah, sorry.
Right, I'm actually going to be looking at graphics cards. How much is the GTX 980 going for at the moment?
About 400 odd quid.
I'd pay for that.
I would pay for it, but
have you seen the benchmark? Have you seen the benchmarks on it?
They are so good. They're better than the standard Titan.
Yeah, it's above Titan Black. It's the best graphics card you can buy at the moment.
Oh, is it? I didn't know it was better than the Black. I knew it was better than the standard Titan.
By over 1,000 points.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, so
The next thing on the list is the one that I'm actually looking at now. Where's it gone?
what the next one's the 780 Ti.
Yeah.
And then you've got the
At the moment, the 780 Ti is going for 369.
yeah, and I bought the 970 for 300, which is between the 780 and the 780 Ti, which is a really good card. It will play every single game on the market right now on highest settings without a problem.
Well,
And-
this one is the 780 Ti 3 gig graphics card.
Mhm.
Comes with Borderlands, free of charge.
Borderlands 1 or 2, I'd imagine 2.
The prequel.
Oh, the prequel, so yeah.
And it also is overclockable.
Yep.
Damn. Is this graphics card looking gorgeous?
What is this, the Ti?
Yeah. At the moment on scan, it's going for 369.
If you are, as I said, the Ti is better than what I have by a bit. It's a fair bit better than what I have.
Right, give me a second.
If you're willing to pay the extra like 60, 70 quid, I would definitely say go for it, because you could easily run like 3 1440p monitors.
Yeah.
I'm looking at buying 3 1080s and then having my big TV above it. So
Well, like, did you hear what Foxy said the other day?
no, what do you say?
He wanted to buy The he was going to get a Quadro
Oh yeah,
kit,
yeah.
and I'm just sat there like, why would you buy a Quadro?
Well, they're not meant for gaming on.
They're crap for gaming. They're
They're,
beastly in sense of actual graphics output.
yeah, and for video editing, that's what they're really meant for. But you, I think he already has a Quadro. I think he got
I
given.
don't see the point.
No, but I think he got given one for free. And he was saying about playing with it, and I was like, "You won't want to play with it. It will play games, but you won't want to play with it. You'll drop frame rates. It will not be a fun experience. You want to go for one of Nvidia's GeForce. That they are the gaming ones, or you want to go for the AMD 7000 series. They're your safe bets."
Give
But
me a second. I'm just having a look at something.
I was going to say, in a minute, do you want to jump onto what is the last topic?
Sure. So moving on to the last topic of like League of Legends again, because the massive esports tournament is on. We now have a definitive answer on who's made it out of groups.
Mhm.
I don't know if that happened last week. If I announced it,
Yeah, you announced who went through.
right? Well, quarterfinals finished the other day actually. So North Korea's like best team,
Mm-hmm.
or in contention as best team, because they're two sister teams
Yeah,
who are wanted as the best teams for the World Championship, is Samsung White took on North America's first seed team of TSM in the quarterfinals, and everyone that was on the analyst desk and everyone at home knew that it was, or thought it was going to be, a Samsung White win. But not only a Samsung White win, but 3-0 in a best of 5.
they thought it was
Samsung
going to
White.
be a whitewash, basically.
Yeah, there was not going to be a chance from TSM, which is understandable as TSM's track history on Korean teams is they have played 18 games and lost every single game. They've come across a Korean team and just lost.
Every single time. Never win.
Yeah. Luckily, what happened was it was 2-0 down at the time. Came down to the third game and we sat there like, okay, we're going to see a 3-0 here. TSM still won't be able to beat a Korean team. And I think Samsung White just got really cocky
Yeah.
and went for a really late game team, barely any wave clear, didn't really give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
TSM came along, they got their team that they wanted, locked it in, started the team fight, and what had been happening was a 3-buff start had been happening for Samsung White at the beginning. So there's 2 buffs on either side of the map.
Yeah.
One side has a blue and a red, and the other side has a blue and a red. They give buffs to the jungler. Now, what had been happening is TSM had been losing one of their buffs to Samsung White. It'd be killed off, and that'd be it, due to failed ganks usually. And TSM decided this time round they were on purple side, and they were going to go for a red invade on Samsung White. Samsung White actually saw the invade happening and decided that they were going to team fight for it, thinking that they could easily beat TSM in the team fight and just end the game there pretty much, making it another 3-buff start, helping them get to the late game a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And what actually happened was, I think it was a two deaths happened to Samsung White,
Yeah.
and TSM lost nobody. And what happened was, it meant that TSM got I think it was a 3-buff start themselves. Unfortunately, their top laner, Dyrus, had actually been having issues. During the other 2 games, it had been noticed that Dyrus was probably one of the strongest players on their team, along with Bjergsen, who was their mid laner. So they'd been focusing in on those two.
Mm.
Pawn, I would say, is their weakest for Samsung, who's their mid laner, and the top laner is pretty damn good. But if you can shut down Dyrus, who is their major, like, rock,
Yeah.
the team, being a veteran, you can win the game. And that's what had been happening. So Dyrus actually was kind of scared to go into the river or past the halfway mark of his lane from his jungle, so he couldn't actually force anything. So what he mostly did was he would make sure that the lane was pushing in on the other turret, and then just go roam. Got a roam, managed to kill off a player in the jungle, took the win there, did really well. Got Bjergsen starting to come through, who was probably Dyrus is a very strong player, and if he's left alone, he can do really well. But Bjergsen is also someone that can just carry their team. And what happened was Bjergsen got off to a rolling start. Dyrus then started feeling a bit of confidence. Still didn't go further because he didn't want to get ganked and lose that whole lane push and be able to do it, which meant that bot lane started getting ganks, and we got to see Wild Turtle and not Captain Jack, Lust Boy, like starting to work out again versus possibly the best AD carry in the world.
Yeah.
There's contention between Imp of Samson White and Royal Club's Uzi on who is the best. Imp says that it's Uzi, and Uzi kind of just doesn't say anything. It's joking. So what happened was TSM took a win there, making it 2-1, and we could see a possible comeback from TSM.
Yeah.
During the regional playoffs, they usually lost their first 2 games, and then would claw it back, winning three in a row, and taking the season. And we were like, is TSM actually going to kill off Samson White here, take them in a 3-0 at the end, making it overall a 3-2 in it, and get through to semis? Unfortunately, it came down to the fourth match, and Samson White decided that they weren't going to play ball.
They just went all out.
Yeah, they were like, right, we're going to sweat it here. Putting it in FIFA terms.
Yeah.
They sweated it, destroyed TSM. It was actually a really, really fun match to watch. There was a bit of back and forth, but once again, Samson White turned on actually being serious.
Actually turned on the heat, yeah.
And won the game, which then put everyone's hopes in North America onto the other big team from North America, which had made it through. The only other North American team, Cloud9.
Yeah.
Who was going against Samson White's sister team, Samson Blue. And what happened was we saw I think it was a 3-1 again.
Yeah.
I think it went 1-0 Samson Blue, 1-0, 2-1,
3-1.
and 3-1. And it was a really, really fun game, but we did see Korea coming back.
Just destroy, basically.
Yeah, although it nearly went down to a final match in that one.
What,
We had a base race. Yeah.
The fourth
Final
game.
objective. Yeah, on the fourth game, we saw Cloud9 actually nearly defeating Samson Blue and making it go through to that fifth game. And unfortunately, they all rezzed up, killed off Cloud9, and got the lucky teleport to end the game. It was a really long game. This then brings us...
I was going to say, the games can go on really long.
Oh, definitely. They can last... We actually had one match that lasted 78 minutes in the group stages, which kind of freaked us out a little bit.
That's one game, though, not like how we have it now, where there's best out of 5.
Yeah, that was just one game.
So it could potentially take 5+ hours to complete
actual game.
Yeah.
That's so
Right.
insane.
Then we're going to move on to Starhorn Royal Club versus Edward Gaming. These are two Chinese teams that fought each other in the GPL. No, sorry, not is it GPL or is it LPL? No, it was LPL. And during the season, Edward Gaming took Starhorn Royal Club and beat them overall to take first spot in the Chinese league. So it was coming back, and we were like, is Edward Gaming going to destroy Starhorn Royal Club again? And we're not going to see Starhorn Royal Club go to the final like they did last season. And unfortunately, Starhorn Royal Club in last season's World Final lost to the Koreans.
Everyone
3-0.
loses to the Koreans.
Yeah. So what happened was we saw Edward Gaming start off well. It went 3-2 in the overall. Uzi started coming back and becoming this beast of a player. Then we saw Najin Whiteshield versus OMG. OMG is the Chinese team versus a Korean team. So we've gone from an all-Chinese quarterfinal into a Chinese-Korean quarterfinal. And the rating was Najin Whiteshield's going to beat OMG. OMG aren't that strong. It's going to be quite a close game. Those 3-2 was what everyone on the analyst desk and everyone at home was saying. Somehow, OMG decimated Najin Whiteshield.
Are OMG the Chinese or Korean team?
They're the Chinese team.
So the Chinese team decimated the Koreans.
Yeah, the
Not
Korean
bad.
team. In a 3-0 destruction.
3-0 whitewash. See, that's one thing. I don't know if you've ever watched COD competitive gaming.
Not particularly.
That's one thing. So, basically, the Koreans are Optic in theory.
Yeah.
Optic would just win and win and win and win. But now it's opposite now. Optic are pretty shit now. But I don't see that happening to these Koreans. They just seem like they are just naturally gifted at this game.
It does seem to be that the Koreans can't be beaten.
They literally...
First season that they were actually allowed in, they came second, being beaten by a Taiwanese team to the grand final, and that was kind of a big shock, especially as Azubi Frost were classed as the best around. Admittedly, season 1, Koreans weren't allowed in it, either with the Chinese teams or any of the Asian teams, so it was actually a North American versus a European team world final.
They thought, we'll finally win at least one.
Yeah, in which Europe actually did win.
Oh, so Europe beat America. So America have never won it.
Yeah. Although in the last season it's just not looked good for Europe. They haven't looked as strong in the way of working. So at the moment we have 1 day, 11 hours and 11 minutes until the next game, which is the semi-final on Saturday of Samsung Blue versus Samsung White, an all-Korean semi-final.
But the problem with that is basically Team A versus Team B. So shouldn't Team A just kind of roll them?
Not necessarily, because both of the teams were actually really, really strong. And, for instance, Samsung Blue had to fight a little bit to get out of their group stage, while Samsung White decimated their groups. They did a 6-0 in group stage, never dropping a game, demolishing each and every team that they came across.
Yeah.
They got a bit cocky against Team Solar Mid, but that was due to the fact that TSM, they had scrimmed, they knew that they could beat them.
Yeah.
And it was a best of 5, so they didn't actually need to worry about dropping a game. They could easily just take it back, as they did. Well, Samsung Blue, they're also looking very strong. There are worries. Samsung Blue is technically supposed to be the first team out of the two, but they've looked shakier
Yeah,
than Samsung White. And Samsung Blue last Worlds actually didn't make it out of the group stages. Samsung White didn't even make it to Worlds. But Samsung White, in my opinion, are going to be the strongest and are going to go through to the World Final.
what do you
For
think?
the,
Do you think they'll win
Yeah.
it?
I really do. So, the other semi-final is Starhorn Royal Club versus OMG. An all-Chinese semi-final. So,
So basically, the final is going to be Korea versus China. It's
yes,
basically defined.
yeah. A Korean team will face a Chinese team in the semi-final.
In the final.
In the final. For the $1 million prize fund.
How many people play on a team?
5 players.
So it's $1 million split between 5.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I wouldn't mind it.
It's not bad for playing video games, is it?
So, we're going to actually see, in my opinion, I think Stockholm Royal Club will go through.
Mhm.
I think they've got a better team than OMG. San's a bit weak. Not going to lie, I just don't find him as good as Uzi. Uzi, or Uzi, as he likes to be called, is extremely strong.
Yeah, you said he's basically like first or second best in his position.
Yeah. OMG actually swapped out their support player. So their support player was Dada777. And they switched him out for Cloud. And Cloud seemed to bring it that he should have been
Number 1.
first team. Yeah. Because for some reason, most regions play with like a 5-man roster.
Alright.
With like with maybe some benched players,
Yeah.
while China seems to run with a 6-man roster
What? So
and other subs.
they'll have like one player that rotates, basically.
Yeah, like if needed.
How does that work? Can you rotate during a game?
You can't rotate during the game. What happens is you then lock in your roster for that
Game.
section.
Cool, that makes sense. So basically, if say we were playing a weaker team, we could play weaker players ourselves.
Yeah,
Cool, makes sense. I thought you'd be able to like say a player's because obviously they do like 100 million dots per second or whatever. They're doing crazy amount
Yeah.
of button taps. So I thought maybe they'd be like, oh, hand cramp, and they'd sub out or something.
no. What happens usually is the subs take over if the player that they play in the position of is playing really weak.
Yeah,
What will happen is they'll sub them out, they'll bench the other player and bring on a stronger
take him.
player.
yeah, cool.
So what's going to happen is I think Cool isn't as strong as Starhorn Royal Club's team, which, if you give me a second, I'm having to pull up multiple different team rosters as I go through this with you. So, as I say, I don't think San, who's the AD carry, will beat Uzi. Because Uzi is just dominant. Overall, he's too strong. No one can seem to beat him in the way of being an AD carry.
Duh.
So, what happened was, it's going to be Uzi taking on San. San's going to lose. San's usual KDA is 6.1.
Yep.
Well, that's his average, and we actually see Uzi's at 7.7.
Yeah,
So it looks strong.
there's like a whole point and a bit more there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've then got
They,
Cool versus Korn in the mid lane.
Mm.
For Starhorn Royal Club has Korn, and Cool is part of OMG. Cool only has a 3.3 KDA versus Korn's 4.9. Although that means nothing really
Mm.
in the major things, I just think that Korn has a higher skill level. The one that I actually think will be the one to look out for is that of top lane.
Okay.
Just because the top lane player for OMG is extremely strong. His name's Going, and he has hella chin. I'm not even joking. His chin game is freaking amazing.
I'll Google it after this show, but I can't right now.
Versus Cola. He's reasonable. He's like a strong player. You have to be able to get into the semi-final of the World Series. But he's going against what I would say is the best Chinese top laner, if not the best top laner in the world at this moment in time. We then actually go down to jungler, and we're going to see Loveling versus Insec.
Mm-hmm.
Insec is actually world famous when it comes down to his position.
He's like the best in that position.
Well, he's actually Korean, playing on a Chinese
team. I had a feeling that I'm surprised that's never happened for American teams. Like, they don't just go, let's buy a load of Korean players.
Well, actually, you'd be surprised. TSM has 2 North American players.
And the rest are going to be Korean, aren't they?
2 European players.
Oh.
And a Korean player. But as of the end of this season, now an LCS team must have 3 players of their region playing in their team, and the minority can be from a different region.
Cool. So, who is your prediction for who wins it?
Right. Let me just go through this one. Starhorn Royal Club to beat OMG, because Starhorn Royal Club actually could have issues. It's a mixture of both Korean and Chinese.
Yeah.
Starhorn is. So they actually speak English.
Oh, what? They all speak English during the game when they talk?
Yeah, even though both of them don't know a lot of English and don't speak it as a native tongue,
it's better.
They usually do that and like in-game pings to kind of guess where everything's going.
Yeah.
Which means there are issues with that.
Yeah, there's definitely sounds like there's some communication issues there.
Compared to OMG, who has like a hella strong team and play the way that I imagine a Chinese team to play, which is force team fights, play that way, always keep that team going. But they did show against Naruto White Shield a change in their playstyle.
Yeah.
So they can adapt. We'll wait to see if Starhorn is. The thing that I'll ride on whether or not Starhorn wins that semi-final is, can Uzi carry?
Will he carry the team,
Yeah. If Uzi can get strong, that's it. Can go in, carry OMG to the final. That's where we'll see.
And who do you think will be in the final?
Overall, I have it down to Samsung White.
I was going to say, it sounds like it has to be one of the Samsung teams, because they just sound so dominant over the other ones.
Well, if we go to Samsung's teams, I'll just switch over, so we're going through the other semi-final. So you got Samsung White versus Samsung Blue. The teams... Samsung Blue has an 8-2 win-loss ratio versus that of Samsung White, which is a 9-1 ratio.
Yeah, so they're similar.
Similar. It's kind of peaked with it, and if we look actually at the average team, like the average KDA between Team Samsung Blue is 5.4 versus that of a 9.1 KDA.
Oh, okay then. That's
White.
That's quite a big difference.
Average goal per minute is 1.8k for Samsung Blue versus that of 1.9 for Samsung White.
That's not a massive difference.
But the average gold total is 64k for Blue and 58k for White.
Fair enough.
So we're seeing kind of this weird who is going to win? I think, if I remember correctly, Samsung White actually, their games are very quick versus Blue.
Yeah, they like
Blue
to
is
push and
yeah. So I think that's the reason why the average gold is slightly higher on Blue, because their games last longer, so you get more overall gold.
more chance for the higher gold. Yeah.
Yeah. Just let me point out a few of the big name players, and we'll go through the KDAs before we finish. So I'll say why I think White's actually going to win. We've got top lane versus top lane, Acorn versus Looper. Acorn is part of Samsung Blue with a 5.4 KDA versus that of Looper's 10.3.
Okay. How
So
do you
that's
get a KD that high? That's
Playing safe, playing well.
true. Yeah, Cam.
So we've got that versus the two junglers of Spirit for Samsung Blue versus Dandy for Samsung White. Actually, it's 7.7 for Spirit versus 7 for Dandy. So we're actually seeing kind of a weird thing. Then we go down to mid lane. Dade, who used to be for Samsung White.
Oh, well, he's swapped team.
Yeah, he swapped team. Has a 4.4 KDA versus that of Samsung White's mid lane, who I think is their weakest player, of Pawn, who's a 10.5 KDA.
Their weakest player has a 10.5.
Yeah.
That's pretty intense.
We then go over to AD Carry. So we see Deft, who is on the top 3 AD carries of a 5.6 versus who I think is the world's best AD carry of Imp with a 9.7.
There's a big gap. I can see this gap pulling further and further apart between the teams.
Finally we get to the support of Heart with a 4.9 KDA and Mata of Samsung White with a 9.1.
Wow. This
Especially,
you need to the day that's on. You need to make me watch it because I'm interested in watching really good players play games. If that makes sense.
All the games are actually on YouTube at the moment for the World Championships.
What would the channel name be?
If you just look up LOL Esports on YouTube, you'll find it there. You can go watch from the start all the way through. They have them all, including the World Final of last year.
Okay, I'll go watch that.
It goes through everything. And I really do think that this World Championship, we're going to see Samsung White lift that trophy. Even though Blue looked stronger in the season.
Yeah. But as you said, White went undefeated in the group, didn't drop a point.
Yeah. And only lost one game because they got cocky.
Yeah.
You're looking at the ratios and it's just Samsung White decimate teams. Everyone is scared of that team.
So your final prediction is Samsung White to win the world. Wait, what is it? What's this called?
The League of Legends World Championship.
Your prediction is Samsung White to win the League of Legends World Championship.
In 2014. That would mean that 2 Korean teams have won the championship.
And he just bet 50 quid on it with me.
I would actually put that money down.
I was going to say, I would, from listening to all the stats and everything. I'm just like, this team sound like they need to win this.
They're so strong. Anyone that watches this in Korea will know that when the World Championships are on, you can buy tickets at the moment to go watch it. Because the World Championship finals are being played at our version of Wembley.
Yeah, I remember you saying that it's just ridiculously huge.
And it's going to cost you 25,000 Korean...
whatever their money is.
Or whatever it is. If I go to buy now, I'll just have a look at the prices. So, date Sunday, time 3:30, and there are 10 seats left. Yeah, right. So it's for a diamond seat, you're looking at 55,000 won, as it's called.
How much is that in English money?
I'm just looking it up. To go in British pounds sterling, I'm actually surprised it's £31.85.
Oh, that doesn't sound as much as I thought it'd be.
I thought it was going to be a hell of a lot more,
Yeah. So
but that's for the diamond. So you can actually get cheaper ones. Like at the moment, there are silver seats and gold seats going,
Yeah.
and each one is cheaper.
Ah, well, there you go, people. If you want to go watch the League of Legends finals, it's going to cost you £30, including getting to Korea. Yeah. Oh, wait, where is it?
It's in Korea.
Yeah. So you might have to go to Korea, and they've kind of got some crazy people over there in Korea.
And you're going to have to pay for the train, for the plane ticket to get there, plus sleeping out there.
Yeah, but forget all that. The ticket's £30, so buy the ticket and go. Although it's like tomorrow or the day after.
No, it's not, actually.
Wait, when did you say
The World Finals?
Sorry, I'm talking about the semis.
Yeah, semis are on the 11th,
Yeah, you said they're
That's
in
when
like
they start.
2 days, basically.
and the World Finals actually on the 19th.
So buy it and go.
Seriously, man, like, if you have the chance, I recommend it.
I can't imagine watching people game live. It'd just be like watching me game live, apart from they do it really quick.
They're so good, and it's at such a high level of viewing.
Yeah.
It's as if it's a concert. Right, shall we end the thing here?
Yeah, I think that right about now. So you predict Samsung White to win the League of Legends tournament. You should also go watch all the shows we recommended, because I don't think we mentioned a single bad show today.
No?
No, I don't think we did.
Haven't.
Although Madoka Magica, if you're going to watch it sub, because the dub sucks, and watch it Blu-ray because it's so much better than DVD. If you want to check
Apparently
us
the
out,
same for Black Lagoon.
yep, it is the same. If you want to check us out, make sure to go down in the description right below the like button. All of our social media will be in there. Check us out. See you later. Goodbye.